Clara is walking down the street at night. Suddenly, a creepy guy jumps out from behind a bush with a knife. Clara looks scared for a second, but then she sighs. She knows she's really not in danger. Why? Wait, are there two moons in the sky? Then this can't be real. Clara is dreaming. A crazy inventor invites his neighbor over for dinner. A robot brings the food to the table. The neighbor is really impressed and asks, "How old is your robot?" The inventor says, "In 6 years, this robot will be twice as old as it was 3 years ago. So how old is it today?" The robot is 12 years old. At some point, the robot goes crazy. It starts bumping into desks and ignoring voice commands. They can't reach the shutdown button, so what should they do? Throw a bucket of water, use a magnet, or move the armchairs? Well, throwing water could damage it for good. A magnet would need to be huge to affect it, so it won't work. Moving the armchairs is the best choice. They can trap the robot in a corner until the battery runs out. All right, take a good look at these 3 women. Only one of them has exactly 5 tattoos. Can you guess who it is? The first woman has at least 6 tattoos. The third one has 8. So the only one who can have 5 tattoos is the second woman. Ryan is a lawyer. He gets to his desk at work and sees a note with his clients' names, each with a number next to it. At first, it looks like a normal list, but then he freezes. He realizes it's not a checklist, it's a threat. Can you crack the code? The numbers aren't random. Each number tells you which letter to take from each name. When you put those letters together, they spell one word: quit. 2 suspects run through a public aquarium at night. One hides in the penguin freezer, and the door slams shut behind him. The other hides in the reptile house, where the humidifiers break and thick fog fills the room. Who has a better chance of surviving until security shows up? It's the one in the reptile house. The fog would be confusing, but he'd probably be fine. The guy in the freezer could be in serious trouble since he's not wearing a jacket. William is a truck driver, and he's transporting something super risky to another city. Take a good look at the truck. Can you figure out what's inside? See the sticker that says "Live Animals"? And look, there's a little honey jar symbol on the side. That means this truck is packed with bees. Halfway through the trip, William is going downhill when he realizes, oops, the brakes aren't working. He has only 3 choices: turn off the truck, drive it into a lake, or jump out the window. What should he do? Turning off the truck or jumping out the window is risky, so the best option is the lake. Water will slow the truck down fast, but William has to get out right away. Now look at these students taking a test. The teacher is sure someone is cheating, but who? This guy is sweating like crazy, but he's not nervous, he's just hot. Now look closer. Everyone has short sleeves, except one student. He's hiding his arms, so he probably wrote formulas on them. He's cheating. Agnes rents a fancy yacht. When she gets on board, she greets the captain, shakes hands with the steward, and gives the engineer a big tip. That night, she's standing on the deck when the yacht suddenly turns, and someone pushes her into the water. The captain says he was steering. The steward said she was making the bed. The engineer says he was checking the engines. So, who's lying? The yacht turned, so the captain was definitely at the wheel. But the steward had a reason to lie and push Agnes. She was mad that Agnes tipped the engineer, not her. 3 couples are eating at a restaurant, and they all ask for the check at the same time. The waitress turns around, and suddenly the lights go out. When the lights come back on, all 3 couples are gone, and nobody paid. She checks images from the security video from right before the blackout. So, which couple planned it? It was this couple. They were the ones standing right next to the light switch. Police get a call. Someone stole a tourist's phone on the street and then ran into a restaurant to blend in. Look at this scene. One of these 3 guys is the thief. But who is it? Every napkin is neatly folded, except that one. That means the phone is hidden under it. That's the suspect. A magician is about to do his big finale. He tells his assistant to step into a cage. The cage is lowered into water and it starts filling up. But then she realizes something is wrong. The trick isn't working. Maybe it failed, or maybe somebody messed with it. Either way, she has to get out fast. What should she do? Her hair is held in place with hairpins. She can use one to pick the lock and open the padlock. The crowd is clapping, but the assistant is soaking wet and furious. She knows the magician did it on purpose. He tried to get rid of her. But why? Look, there's an engagement ring on the floor. Turns out they were a couple. He proposed before the show, she said no, and he wanted revenge. Alice just got her journalism diploma. Her mother helps her get a job interview at a big newspaper. She says, "Go to this office and look for a blonde woman with glasses. She'll interview you." Alice shows up, but she sees 3 blonde women with glasses. So who should she talk to? Well, this one isn't wearing a work badge, so she doesn't work there. This one is holding a recorder, so she's probably a reporter, not HR. That means the 3rd woman is the interviewer. George thinks his girlfriend is cheating, so he grabs her laptop to look for something suspicious. His girlfriend has a terrible memory, so she keeps her passwords on sticky notes. And yep, he finds one. It says, "Wow." He types it in, but it doesn't work. Why? What's the real password? Because the note is upside down. It doesn't say "wow," it says "mom." Jenny here is traveling. When she gets to her hotel, the woman at the front desk says, "Good evening." The next day, Jenny comes back, and the woman says, "Good evening" again. Same thing on the 3rd day. But on the 4th day, she doesn't say it. Why? Because Jenny arrived earlier that day. It wasn't evening yet, so the woman actually said, "Good afternoon." A thief runs into a museum and grabs an expensive painting. But to escape, he has to go through a hallway filled with security lasers. He sees 3 wall switches. He knows if he turns off 2 of them, the alarm will go off. So, which switch should he turn off? He should turn off the switch for the purple lasers. Then he can crawl under the others to get to the other side. The thief escapes the museum, but now he has to carry the famous painting without getting caught. So what should he do? Buy an easel, call a cab, or hide it in a bag? Well, calling a cab is risky. The driver might get suspicious. And the painting is huge, so it won't fit in a bag. The best choice is the easel. He can walk down the street, and if a cop shows up, he can place the painting on the easel and act like he's just a street artist. And that's it for today. Tell us in the comments how many you got right. And don't forget to share this video with your friends and challenge them. All I want for Christmas is to solve all the mysteries and riddles. If it's your wish as well, let's not waste a second and get started. At the office Christmas party, everyone placed their secret Santa gift under the tree. Each person brought one. But when the time came to unwrap them, there was one extra box with a mysterious tag. There are 3 people who might have brought it: the security guard, the new designer, and the director. Can you guess who did it? The gift is wrapped in a ribbon that looks exactly like the new designer's tie. So, it must have been him. At night, the Christmas tree sparkled with lights. But by morning, half the ornaments were gone. The door was locked, the cat and the family were asleep. Can you guess what happened here and who's to blame? Looks like the cat was playing with the ornaments, and the husband went down to drink some milk at night and tried to stop it. See those scratches on his arms? All the ladies showed up in dazzling shoes to the office Christmas party. 3 women stood out the most. Then the director's wife entered the room and suddenly froze. It turned out that one of the ladies was wearing the exact same exclusive shoes the woman had asked her husband for as a gift, and he said they were sold out. Can you guess who got the shoes? The redhead got the elf shoes. The director's wife was wearing a costume that matched this pair perfectly. Now, in the middle of the night, a family heard a strange noise. The inflatable Santa in the yard suddenly came to life and started moving. It was windy, but the figure stood under a porch roof, safe from the gusts. When Stacy ran outside, she saw the robot vacuum and her very scared dog. Can you tell what happened here? The robot vacuum must have scared the dog in the dark, and it actually stepped on the switch and activated Santa. A girl left her wish letter for Santa on the windowsill. In the morning, it was gone. The window was closed, the curtains untouched. The only clues are some crumbs on the sill and the faint smell of chocolate. What happened here, and who took the letter? An elf, the girl's dad, or her grandma? Dad must have taken the letter so he could buy the gift in time while snacking on chocolate. His lips are still brown from it. A lot of people want to look perfect at their Christmas parties, so the hairdressers at this little beauty studio are really busy. Looks like one of them definitely needs a break more than others. Can you tell who? The lady in the middle is about to cut her client's hair with garden shears. Well, she better go home and get some sleep before someone gets hurt. Airport security got a phone call telling them that one of the passengers dressed as Santa is smuggling stolen gold. They stopped 3 possible bad Santas and studied the contents of their luggage in detail. Do you notice anything suspicious here? This Santa has 2 large bottles of sunscreen among his sweaters and other winter accessories. Unless he's really afraid of the winter sun, he could be hiding the stolen gold inside those bottles. Several Santas visited a huge office center. Looks like one of them didn't come to give, but to take from others. Several managers noticed their phones and other valuables were gone. Can you figure out which of the Santas took them? Take a look at this Santa's boots. They are much bulkier than everyone else's. Looks like he's hiding the stolen valuables inside. A popular photographer received an urgent order for a Christmas family photo shoot. The pay is huge, but once the photographer sees the family, she decides to give them the money back and leave. What made her do it? None of the family members has common features, so they must be hired actors. And the father has a knife behind his back. You can see it in the mirror. Probably the photographer's competitors hired them. Santa's assistants did a great job sorting the gifts, but mixed up the 3 final addresses. Can you help them figure out what goes where? Well, we can see the outlines of a guitar, so the first gift must go to this guy who's a big fan of music. The girl who lives in this room, full of sports attire, will definitely appreciate a hockey stick. The final gift looks like a book that will be a great addition to this guy's collection. Someone robbed the house of a famous singer right before Christmas. She has 3 suspects: the chef, the decorator, and the delivery guy. The chef said he didn't even leave the kitchen. The decorator claimed she was too busy putting ball ornaments on the tree. The delivery guy explained he was only inside for 1 minute. Who's lying? There are no ball ornaments on the tree, so the decorator is lying and must have robbed the house. After delivering all the gifts, Santa got off his sleigh and walked south for 3 miles. Then he turned east and walked for 3 miles. He then walked north for 3 miles and came to the starting point, where he met a bear. What color was it? Well, the only location where you can walk 3 miles south, then east for 3 miles, and north for 3 miles and come back to the beginning is, of course, the North Pole. Only white bears live there. At the International Arctic Snow Games, 2 elves were playing 3 games of gift hockey. Each elf won the same number of times. There were no ties. So, how is it possible? The 2 elves must have been playing for different teams, so they weren't playing each other. Santa got so tired and caught up in his thoughts that he started going down a one-way street the wrong way. A policeman saw him, but for some reason, he didn't stop or even warn Santa. He just smiled at him. Why would he do that? Well, Santa was just walking, not driving, so he didn't break any laws. Santa decides to run the Best Elf competition. You can help your friend Elfie win if you give him all the right answers. Let's start with a simple one. Where does Christmas go before Thanksgiving? Well, it's not some exotic destination, but just any dictionary. The next riddle requires some math skills. 1 snowman weighs as much as 3 Mrs. Clauses, and 1 Mrs. Claus weighs as much as 2 elves. 1 elf weighs 10 pounds plus half an elf. How much does the snowman weigh? Alrighty, if half an elf is 10 pounds, then one elf is 20 pounds. It makes Mrs. Claus pretty light, just 40 pounds. That's 20 times 2. Finally, a snowman is 3 times the weight of Mrs. Claus, which makes its weight 120 pounds. Now here's another math riddle for you. When the elf was 10, his brother was half his age. Now the elf is 16. How old is his brother? Half the elf's age would make his brother 5. Now that he's 16, you need to subtract 5 and you get 11. Well, enough math. Time to use some logic. Santa Claus's mother had 3 kids. The first child was named Chris. The second was named Susie. What was the name of the third? It was Santa. Yep, it was that simple. Elfie is this close to winning the title. Just one more riddle to solve. Santa and Mrs. Claus live in a one-story house at the North Pole. The walls are in Christmas colors, red and green. But what color are the stairs? There are no stairs, because we know it's a one-story house. Hey, you really helped out, and the best elf title goes to Elfie. Yay! Now, which of these Christmas puzzles was the trickiest? Let us know in the comments.
At a funeral, a woman lies in her coffin with one hand hanging out, holding a piece of chalk. On the floor, she managed to write just one letter, A. In front of her stand 3 pregnant women, Amy, Anna, and Ava. One of them must be behind what happened. But who? Look closely. Anna's bouquet looks a little strange. One of her flowers isn't a flower at all. It's the handle of a knife she tried to hide. After school, Emma has a strange feeling that someone's following her. She walks faster until she reaches her locker. Inside, there's a note written in red letters. It says, "Readers unite now." Can you figure out what it means? Divide the word into 3 rows, then read the first column vertically. It spells run. During a bungee jumping adventure, Lily is about to put on her safety gear when she suddenly falls. Oh no! A camera captures the moment and 3 people are nearby: her sister, her best friend, and the instructor. One of them pushed her. Who do you think it was? Let's see. The sister has both arms outstretched, but she's actually trying to grab Lily. The instructor is preparing the gear for a safe jump, but her best friend is trying way too hard to act innocent. He's the one who pushed Lily. David walks into an old haunted house. He steps into a dusty classroom, looks around, and laughs. Ha! There's nothing scary about this place. But suddenly, the lights flicker and the door slams shut behind him. He's trapped. On the blackboard, glowing numbers start to appear. He realizes he has to solve this puzzle to escape. Can you figure it out? Here's the trick. Each line adds the current sum to the previous result, so the answer is 36. After saying the answer out loud, David watches the numbers vanish from the board. But suddenly, a piece of chalk starts moving on its own, writing the word C over and over again. Now David's confused. He doesn't understand what's going on. Do you notice anything strange? Look closely. In the middle of all those C words, there's one that says C. Oh! This school's ghost must be telling him to look at something. Quickly, David turns around and spots two dusty mirrors, both showing his reflection, but something feels off. One of them isn't real, so which one shows the true reflection? Remember, the chalk was moving by itself. David never touched it, so the real reflection is the one that shows his empty hands. A jewelry store is robbed and the security camera catches the moment, but we can only see the thief's hand reaching for the jewels. The next day, the police bring in 3 suspects and ask them to show their hands. Can you tell who the thief is? It's suspect number 3. Look closely. There's a band-aid right where the thief's tattoo was during the robbery. He's just trying to cover it up. 2 pairs of twins walk into an eyewear store. Ruby and Rose pick these glasses. Oliver chooses his pair next. Now it's William's turn. Take a close look at the glasses. Which ones will he pick? There's a pattern, and it's not about matching with their twins. They're choosing the color of their glasses based on the first letter of their names. Ruby and Rose went for red. Oliver picked orange, so William will choose the white ones. A couple is on a road trip when suddenly they hear a loud noise. Lisa hits the brakes hard. She gets out of the car and runs to check what happened. Turns out the tire's flat. She shouts to her husband, "Brian, come here!" But he says he can't help. Why not? Lisa ran out of the car so fast she didn't realize she locked Brian in. He simply can't open the door. A university opened new teaching positions, but with one special rule. The new professors had to know how to write with their left hand. 3 candidates took the test and wrote a word on the board. The judges saw the middle one writing with his right hand and immediately disqualified him. But he swears he followed the rule. How is that possible? Well, the rule said teachers must know how to write with their left hand, but it never said they couldn't also use the right one. The candidate is ambidextrous, so he still qualifies for the job. Ford was waiting to see the doctor, but he was getting impatient. He started complaining nonstop to the young man sitting next to him. After a few minutes, he realized the guy hadn't said a single word. Ford got annoyed until the young man said, "Sorry, I couldn't hear you." Was he telling the truth? Yes, he was. We all saw the noise-canceling earbud in his right ear, but what Ford didn't know was that the young man was deaf in his left one. Uh-oh. A man is flying in a helicopter when the pilot suddenly passes out. There are 3 things he can do: try to fly it himself, use the emergency radio, or jump with an improvised parachute. What should he do? Don't panic. Trying to fly it alone is way too risky, and jumping with an improvised parachute is even worse. But the radio connects him to rescuers who can guide him safely. The best move is to call for help. A woman is in her office when a flower pot crashes down from the floor above. Someone tried to harm her. She looks up and sees 3 co-workers nearby: Clara, Mia, and Daniela. Who did it? Let's see. Clara and Mia just look shocked, but Daniela is turning away, hiding one of her hands behind her back. And it's covered in dirt. She's the one who pushed the pot. It's late at night when Sarah gets a call from her boss asking her to go to the office right away. She needs a last-minute babysitter for her daughter, so she calls her cousin. The young girl doesn't answer the phone but texts back, "I can't, I'm not feeling well," and sends a picture to prove it. She's wearing cozy pajamas and looks pale, but Sarah immediately knows she's lying. How? Look closely. The photo's background shows daylight streaming through the window, but Sarah called her at night. The picture must have been taken on another day. A woman is climbing Mount Everest when a freezing wind hits her. She finds 3 items nearby: a blanket, a bottle, and a coat. Only one can save her life. Which should she choose? Think fast. The blanket is too thin, and the bottle has cold water in it, so it won't stop the chill. But the coat can protect her from the freezing wind and hypothermia. That's the right choice. Samuel has a secret date with his lover at a hotel. The only thing he knows is that she's somewhere on the 2nd floor, and her room number has 3 digits. But he's not sure which one. To keep anyone from finding out, she hid the room number inside their secret code. Can you figure it out? She's on the 2nd floor, so the room number must start with 2. The only 2 in the code is right here, followed by 5 and 6. That means her room is number 256. Dan and his wife are training for a marathon at the end of the month. Today was practice day. Dan left home at 1 p.m. His wife left half an hour later, and she runs twice as fast as he does. Yet, she never catches up. How is that possible? They're married, but they don't live in the same house. In fact, they were running in completely different cities. So of course, she was never going to catch up. And that's it for today's Mystery Marathon. So how many riddles did you get right? Tell us in the comments and challenge your friends to see if they can beat your score.
Now, take a look at these 2 doctors. Only one of them is a human. The other is a vampire. Can you guess who is who? The doctor on the left is a vampire. Why would he try to hide a package of blood in his pocket? Well, you got me. Detective Richardson was called in to figure out which bike had been stolen. The owner said her green bike had the number 6996. At a police checkpoint, officers lined up 3 green bikes. At first glance, they all looked the same. But after a while, Richardson realized which bike they needed. Have you figured it out? It's the bike with the number 9966. It's the original number, just flipped around. This little shortcut gave the thief away. They had slapped on a fake plate, hoping no one would notice the reversed number. Leo showed Mila the photos he took during his trip to Japan. One of them depicted a beautiful sunrise, and another showed an amazing sunset. But Mila immediately realized that the photos were fake. How did she figure it out? Well, in both photos, the sun appeared behind the same mountain. But in real life, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So it's impossible for sunrise and sunset to be behind the same mountain. Police found the smuggled goods they'd been searching for near a pond. There were also tire marks in the mud. A bit later, the officers found 3 trucks nearby. Look at the vehicles and try to figure out which one was used to smuggle stuff. Have you noticed a thin line between the tire marks? On the third truck, there's a chain hanging from its front bumper. It could create such a mark. So the smugglers used the third truck. Mike had $20 in his wallet when he came to college. After lunch break, he realized the money was missing. 3 of his mates had alibis. Dean and Sam said they had been playing football, and Mark said he had been studying. Look at these guys and say which of them took the money. Dean's clothes are dirty and his shoes are muddy. No wonder he had been playing football. But look at Sam, claiming the same. He's clean. Sam must be lying. After a museum robbery, Inspector John chased one of the criminals to the river. But when he reached the bank of the river, he didn't see anything. Can you help him and spot the robber? Have you noticed those bubbles emerging from the water? The criminal is hiding underwater. Jake's phone was snatched through a train window by a masked man. The police had 3 suspects. Look at them attentively and help Jake get his phone back. This man on the left had Jake's phone. Did you see that the thief had a bracelet on his wrist? Only one suspect has a bracelet. Must be the one we need. Criminals were chasing Detective Richardson's car. They were getting closer when the man came up with a genius solution, allowing him to shake the tail off. What did he do if all he had was a bottle of water, an egg, and a matchbox? Richardson threw the egg at the front windshield of the pursuer's car. The driver used the wipers trying to clean the egg, but just spread it around across the windshield, blurring their view. It was raining when an elderly lady was hit by a car that then fled. She was taken to a hospital, and Detective Smith interrogated 3 car owners whose cars matched the description. The first owner claimed that his leg was broken. The second owner had his shoulder bandaged. And the third owner said he had recently fractured his hand. Which of the car owners is guilty? The third owner claims to have a hand injury, but his car is spotless. He must have washed it recently, so he's lying about the injury. And another question, why would he need to wash his car while it's raining? 2 best friends, Emily and Luna, came to a popular and expensive hair salon. At first, the administrator told the girls they had just one available hairstylist. But after making a phone call, she announced she had found another hairdresser. Emily and Luna could have their hair done at the same time. But in the process, it dawned on the girls that one of the hairstylists was fake. Which one? Both hairdressers are using regular scissors, but instead of hairspray, the one on the left is holding a can of spray paint. Well, that's not right. A man on a bike grabs Sarah's bag with all her documents, money, and smartphone and sped off. The only way the girl can get her bag back is by taking someone's car and driving after the criminal. There are 3 vehicles parked nearby. Which one can she borrow? A man is sitting in the blue car. If she decides to take the red car, CCTV will spot her. The only option is the brown vehicle. Carter was visiting his friend Mateo, who loved riddles. In the evening, he challenged Carter to get the key to the guest room where the guy was supposed to be sleeping. Mateo dropped the key in the bucket filled with cold water and told Carter to get it. But he couldn't touch the water or use anything to pull the key out. That night, Carter slept in the guest room. How did he get the key? He put the bucket on fire. The water started to boil and soon evaporated. After that, Carter picked the key up. Nora was an insurance agent. Once, her client called her early in the morning and said that someone had broken into her house at night. When she looked out the window, the criminal was already running away with her valuables. It was dark outside, but she understood it was a man with dark hair and wearing a V-neck t-shirt. Nora understood her client had staged the burglary. How did she figure it out? It was dark, and the man was running away from the client's house. Then, how could the woman understand he was wearing a V-neck t-shirt? During a fire, a bank was robbed. The security guard told the police he wanted to save a bag with money, but he had to lace up his boot right in front of the emergency exit. At that moment, the door opened and hit him on the head. When he recovered, the money was missing. Why was the security guard arrested? All emergency doors open outward. Someone robbed a bank in a large city. A police detective went to visit the main suspect. He said he had been feeling unwell the whole week and hadn't left his apartment in 3 days. He didn't even need food since his fridge was full. The detective realized the man was lying and arrested him. How did he figure it out? Well, first of all, the bread on the table looks fresh, not several days old. Plus, if the man had been staying inside for 3 days already, his fridge wouldn't be that full. Look at these two bloggers. As you can see, they both seem to be very popular. They also have the same number of likes. But there's something wrong with one of them. She must be hiding something. What is it? The girl on the right has a fake bag. The logo on it looks like that of Chanel, but it's written Gucci underneath. The police found out that a smuggler was going to leave the country through the largest airport in the city. A detective arrived there and detained 3 people who looked suspicious. Look at them and try to figure out who the smuggler is. It's the third passenger. His suitcase is full of totally random stuff. Women's shoes, some random socks, a pair of old dirty jeans, and even a wig. Plus, when closed, the suitcase looks much larger than when it's open. 3 friends went on a weekend getaway at a fancy hotel. During dinner, Jack ordered a seafood platter. Paul had a shrimp salad, and Sam went for a hamburger. By the end of the next day, one of them got food poisoning. Who was it? Seafood usually causes trouble just a few hours after eating it, not a whole day later. Since the person only felt bad by the end of the next day, it must have been Sam. It was a regular day at the museum, until, suddenly, the lights turned off and the alarm started blaring. Oh no! A painting's gone missing! Take a good look at these 3 suspects. Can you tell who took it? Wait a second. This lady's scarf looks way too big. She's hiding the painting underneath it. A witch finds an old book sealed by magic. To open it, she must say the total number of triangles on the cover. Can you count them all? There are 8 triangles. Well done. Carla found a backpack on the train. Inside, there was a screwdriver, a sandwich, and a newspaper from last week. She handed it to security, and they suspect it might belong to one of these people: a man who just got off at this station, a worker who repaired the train yesterday, or a tourist who visited the city last week. So, whose backpack is it? Look at the sandwich. There's steam coming out of it. That means it's still hot. So the backpack must belong to the man who just got off the train. A hacker was trying to crack a password, but all he found was this strange clue. He tried adding, subtracting, and even multiplying the numbers, but nothing worked. Then he realized it wasn't about math at all. Can you figure it out? It's all about the number of circles. In 1985, there are 3 of them, see? So the answer is 3. Lisa was watching a TV show with her boyfriend when she suddenly had to rush to the bathroom. "Pause it and wait for me," she said. Her boyfriend agreed. But when Lisa came back, she was sure the TV was showing a different scene. Can you spot 5 differences? Yep, there they are. Olivia and Theo are co-workers traveling to a meeting in another city, and they booked flights on different airlines. Both planes were in the air when something went wrong. On Olivia's flight, her window suddenly cracked. On Theo's flight, the oxygen mask dropped from the ceiling. But only one of them is really in danger. Who is it? Olivia's fine. Airplane windows have multiple layers, and it was only the inner one that cracked. But Theo's in real trouble. His oxygen mask didn't work, which means he has no air supply. A teacher walks into class and shouts, "Surprise test!" 2 students immediately stand up, saying they can't take it because they need to go to the nurse's office. She asks why, and they both say they hurt their legs. But only one of them is telling the truth. Who is it? It's the boy. The girl's pretending. Look, she's standing on her supposedly injured leg. Henry just finished his workout. He headed to the locker room and panicked when he realized his phone was missing. The gym owner questioned 3 people who were nearby. A woman said she was taking a shower when it happened. A guy said he had just walked into the locker room. And a personal trainer said both his hands were busy lifting weights. So, who took the phone? It was the woman. If she was really in the shower after her workout, why is she still wearing gym clothes? She's not telling the truth. Jess just had a son. She held him for a moment and said, "He'll be called Lucas." A nurse came over and said she needed to take Lucas for some tests. When she came back, she handed him to Jess, but Jess froze. "That's not my son," she said. How is she so sure? Because if you remember, Lucas had a birthmark on his head. So yeah, they accidentally switched him. A food inspector walks into a restaurant and asks to see the menu. The chef gets nervous, but brings out 4 of their best dishes. The inspector takes one look and calls the authorities to shut the place down. He says there's something wrong with each plate. Can you find all the issues? Let's see, the first dish has a cockroach. The second one has mold. The third has a strand of hair. And the last one? Well, the problem isn't the food, it's the drink that comes with it. That looks really suspicious. Kate and Paul were playing badminton. They played 5 matches, and each of them won 3 times. How is that possible? Well, that's because they weren't playing against each other. They had different opponents. At a charity auction for billionaires, a necklace worth $1 billion suddenly disappeared. The detective had to find the thief without being seen, so he hid behind a curtain and could only see the backs of 3 women. One had blonde curls decorated with seashells. Another had bright rainbow hair with sparkling clips. The third had red hair braided with coral. So, which of the 3 women stole the necklace? It's the blonde one. Seashells are light, so why are her curls pulled down like that? She must have hidden the necklace inside her hair and attached it to the shells. Hey, don't be afraid. This vampire's actually pretty nice. He decided to stop drinking blood. Luckily, he found the perfect substitute, tomato juice. So he went on vacation and packed 48 little juice boxes. He drinks one every 2 hours. So how long until he runs out of tomato juice? Well, let's do the math. 48 boxes times 2 hours equals 96 hours. That's 4 full days of tomato juice. A young woman was kidnapped by a crazy math teacher. He locked her in a tank that started filling with water and said, "The only way to stop it is to answer this question. Can you write the number 89 using only the number 8? Can you help her before it's too late?" And the answer is 88 plus 8 divided by 8. That equals 89. Did you get it right? 3 hikers see a huge warning sign, high avalanche risk. But they didn't turn back. Minutes later, they hear a deep rumble. The avalanche is coming. Each of them reacts in a completely different way. Samuel crouches down and holds his backpack over his head. Jack stays on the same path but speeds up. Dylan slows down a bit and starts moving diagonally. So, who's got the best chance of survival? It's Dylan. Moving diagonally helps you get out of the avalanche's direct path. Charlotte meets her cousin at the park. It's a beautiful sunny day, not a single cloud in the sky. But something feels off. Her cousin is carrying an umbrella that's completely soaking wet, while his clothes are totally dry. Weird, right? Well, take a good look around the park. Can you guess what happened? See that little sprinkler over there? It's off now, but just a few moments ago, it was spraying water everywhere. He opened his umbrella to protect himself from getting drenched. At a wedding, all the bridesmaids were told to wear colors that are also fruit names. On the big day, they lined up next to each other, and the bride was furious. But why? Who broke the rule? Let's see. She's wearing orange, she's in a pink dress, and the third one picked olive. Those are all fruits. But the last one, she's in mint, so she's the one who messed up. At a charity event, a millionaire showed up with his new companion. His friends wanted to test how smart she was. So one of them said, "A man, a plan, a canal, Panama." Right away, she knew exactly what it was. Can you tell? pangram, palindrome, acronym, lipogram. And the right answer is B, palindrome. That's when a word or phrase reads the same backward and forward. So how many challenges did you get right? Tell us in the comments.
Alan is a famous scientist. He invented a special potion that awakens superpowers in humans. One night, he was having a secret Zoom conference with his colleagues. Alan's assistant, Betty, entered the office and brought him some coffee. In a while, Alan said goodbye to his colleagues and fired Betty. Why? She poured poison into his mug. Alan saw her reactions because the front camera on his laptop was working. Later that day, Alan went to the basement where he kept his secret invention. Unfortunately, someone broke into his safe and stole the potion. Alan interrogated 3 of his co-workers in the building. Will said, "Sorry bro, I've spent the last 24 hours watching rats for my research." Peter said, "I didn't even know they had a basement. You're full of surprises, man." And Diana said, "I think we heard weird noises from your office 2 hours ago." Who stole the potion? Peter. Take a look at his legs. He's levitating. When Peter was exposed, he took off into the sky and escaped. Alan headed to the parking lot, but someone had stolen his car. He called the police and found it across the street. The thief hit a tree and escaped. The police interviewed 3 suspects. Lily said, "I'm a courier. I came here to deliver food for the lab workers." Nina said, "I'm from a cleaning company. I'm here to clean, not steal cars." Bob said, "I parked my car to get some coffee. I didn't see any crimes." Can you guess who stole the car? Nina. Look at her watch. It's broken. And the black glass fragments are still in the car. Alan came home. Someone broke into his house and stole a laptop with secret information. Alan interrogated 3 of his neighbors. Rosie said, "You might think I'm crazy, but I saw a flying man outside your house." Nick said, "I spent all day in the garden picking apples. I didn't see anything suspicious." And Zoe said, "I was at a shopping mall with a friend and just arrived." Who lied? Zoe said that she had been shopping but didn't carry any bags. Suspicious, but possible. Meanwhile, Nick said that he'd been picking apples, but all the apples in the garden are still on the trees. So the liar is Nick. Alan went to the airport to take a flight to Argentina. He wanted to consult with his colleagues about Peter, but there were a lot of people who wanted to fly away too. Online booking stopped working, so there was a long queue. Alan is the 20th from the bottom in a line of 100 passengers. What's his position at the top of the queue? The position of passengers standing higher in the queue is 100 minus 20 equals 80. Therefore, Alan's position from the top is 80 plus 1 equals 81. After purchasing a ticket, Alan headed to the public toilet. A woman stopped him at the entrance and said, "Sir, can you please tell my husband to hurry up? His boss is calling him and it's urgent." Alan agreed, went into the toilet and looked at the stalls. He found the woman's husband right away just by looking at his feet. What about you? The guy on the left is her husband. They have similar tattoos. Finally, Alan got on a plane and flew from New York to Argentina. It took him 10.5 hours to reach the final destination. After spending 3 days in Argentina, Alan flew back home. However, it took 630 minutes this time, even though the plane flew at the same speed. Can you guess why? 10.5 hours are the same as 630 minutes. After getting home, Alan noticed Peter running away through the backyard. Alan followed him, but Peter was too fast. Suddenly, Alan saw his motorbike in the parking lot. He questioned 4 people standing nearby. "Hey guys, whose motorbike is this? I need to borrow it." But all 4 people replied, "It's mine." Alan took a closer look at the vehicle and quickly figured out the owner. What about you? The third guy is the owner. He's the only person who's not wearing or holding a helmet. His helmet is attached to the bike. Alan hit the road. He wanted to get to his lab to make an antidote for Peter as soon as possible. There are 4 possible ways to get there. Can you guess which way is the shortest? The 4th one. The trick to solving this maze quickly is to start drawing from the end. Someone filled Alan's lab with sleeping gas. He passed out and woke up in a creepy basement. Alan found 4 doors leading outside. He has only one chance to escape. He won't be able to use the doors again. Behind the first door, there's a water-filled room swarming with sharks. The second door leads to the room filled with a spider's web. The third door hides a space where scorpions are falling from the ceiling. And the 4th door is hiding hungry lions. Which door is more or less safe to enter? Alan should choose the second door. Although crawling through spiderwebs might be gross, he'll be okay. Alan arrived at Peter's house. Peter lives with 2 roommates, his friend Sam and his brother George. Can you guess which one of these bedrooms belongs to Peter? George is the only one who's holding a laptop in his hands. Therefore, his bedroom is the first room that doesn't have a laptop. See this pillow with red hair in the 3rd room? It looks just like Sam's hair color, so it's probably his bedroom. Therefore, Peter lives in the 2nd room. Peter apologized to Alan for stealing his invention and asked him not to call the police. Alan offered Peter to play a game. He gave Peter 100 pills, 50 red and 50 blue, and 2 empty boxes. Alan said, "I will leave the room for a while, and I'll need you to place all the pills in 2 boxes. When I come back, I'll draw a pill from any of the 2 boxes, and if the pill's blue, I'll forgive you. Keep in mind that no box can be empty, and you gotta place all 100 pills in one of the 2 boxes. Good luck." How can Peter raise his chances of winning? He should put 1 blue pill in one box and the other 99 pills in the second box. This way, the chances are 50-50. The next day, Alan decided to explore an abandoned hospital. 1 week ago, the locals reported some strange sounds coming from this house, and some people saw a ghost wearing a wedding dress. As soon as he entered the building, he heard screams from the attic. Alan walked upstairs and found a wedding dress in a closet nearby. The music speaker replayed creepy sounds over and over again. Alan found 3 neighbors and asked them one similar question. "What did you do 1 week ago?" Chuck said, "I was on a business trip in London for a month. I came back today." Sarah said, "This dress is not mine. I got married in a red one. It suits me much more." And Wendy said, "I'm a doctor. I had many duties in the hospital that day." Who's lying? Sarah. Alan didn't mention the dress, but she started making excuses anyway. Peter was fond of collecting rare coins. When he was 20 years old, he bought a special box to collect his coins. On his every birthday, he put 250 coins in the box. Meanwhile, his sister, who was also fond of collecting coins, took out 50 coins from Peter's box on her birthday. Peter was very surprised at his 60th anniversary when he opened his box. There were only 500 coins inside. How can this be possible? Peter was born on February 29th. Thus, he put 250 coins every 4 years. In 40 years, he put the coins in only 10 times, making a total of 2,500 coins. His sister was born on any other day, and she took out 50 coins from the box 40 times, which means she took out 2,000 items. Therefore, after 40 years, Peter's box only had 500 coins.
Now, Anna had just graduated from college and was in the process of searching for a job. She was going to apply to a few companies, and she wanted her CV to be perfect to increase her chances. So she checked it once again before sending it. There were 3 mistakes in her CV, including typos. Can you help the girl spot them? Take a look at the year when she graduated from college. In her CV it says 2922, but that's not possible. So she must have typed 9 instead of 0 here. Now look at the education section. She wrote university instead of university. That's the second typo. And the last typo is in the skills section. That's right, the word skills itself is misspelled. A week later, Anna was invited to stage 2 of the application process in 3 different companies. The first one was a packaged food company called Pact Inc. The second one was a tech company called Data Corp. And the third one was a media company called Watch TV. But only one of them is Anna's dream job. Can you tell which of these companies it is? Take a look around her room. You'll notice that there's some merchandise from Data Corp. Anna has their sticker on her laptop, and there's a Data Corp mug on her table. But most importantly, do you see that post-it note on her mirror that says goals? Her number 1 goal is to get a job at Data Corp. If the first 2 hints didn't convince you, this certainly will do. The talent recruiter of Data Corp soon called Anna. She said the girl would pass stage 2 of the application process if she guessed her name correctly. But of course, I will give you a hint, she said. My name is 2 of 7 Chicago, 2 of 6 London, and 1 of 9 Edinburgh.
What?
Can you tell what the talent recruiter's name is? Two of 7 of the word Chicago gives you the letters C and H. 2 of 6 of the word London are the letters L and O. 1 of 9 of the word Edinburgh gives you the letter E. So, her name is Chloe. Chloe informed Anna that she had passed stage 2 and the company was inviting her to San Francisco for a face-to-face interview. That was stage 3 of the application process.
Oh my god.
The recruiter also said that the company was going to cover all of her expenses if she answered this next riddle correctly. There is a house. One enters it blind, one leaves it seeing. What is it? Do you know the answer? It's a school, and Anna answered correctly. On the day of the interview, Anna arrived at the airport too early. She was hungry, so she decided to eat something. There were only 3 restaurants open at the airport. The first one served only different kinds of salads. The second one sold various types of pizza and pasta. And the third place was a seafood restaurant. Which restaurant should she choose? Take a look at their displays. There are ants inside one of the salad bowls that are on display in the first restaurant. Pass. A few of the fish in the third restaurant's display look rotten. It's probably not a good idea to eat there. So, she should choose the pizza and pasta restaurant. Anna entered the place and ordered meatballs and spaghetti. As she was waiting, 3 friends who were eating at another table caught her eye. They all looked like very rich people. But Anna could tell that only one of them was so rich that she could literally buy anything she wanted. Can you tell how Anna figured that out? First, take a look at the menu board on the wall. All the prices are listed there. And now, look at what each girl is eating. The first one is munching on Neapolitan pizza. The price for this dish is listed as $25. The second girl is eating pineapple pizza, which costs $39.99. The third girl, though, is trying Pizza Royale, which is made with 24-karat gold topping. Look it up, it's a real thing. And its price is $4,000. That's a lot, even for an airport restaurant. So the third girl must be the richest one. It was time to board the plane. The company spared no expense to get Anna to San Francisco with comfort. So she was going to fly business class. As one of the flight attendants showed her to her seat, she told Anna that she was very lucky to be on this flight because there was a very famous actor on board, and he was sitting next to her.
Oh my God.
Can you tell which of these people is the actor? See that guy holding his cell phone? Take a closer look at the screen. He's on his social media sharing a selfie he took with that guy, who must be the famous actor. And now put that cell phone on airplane mode. Time to go. After the plane landed in San Francisco, Anna headed directly to the Data Corp's headquarters for her interview. She told the security guard that Chloe was expecting her for a job interview.
Hello.
After checking the guest list to confirm her words, the security guard gave her a name tag. "Here, take this. All guests have to wear it," he said. Then he gave her a card. "You need to go to the 7th floor to meet her. This card has the passcode to call the elevator. Good luck with everything." Just as Anna was going to thank him, he interrupted her and continued talking. "And keep this in mind, the elevator will help you ascend in an orderly way." Anna thought, okay, weird. What can that even mean? Then she walked up to the elevator. There were no down or up buttons, just a passcode panel. Then she looked at the card the security guard had given her and saw a picture of a funny face. There were 3 numbers hidden in that image, and they were the numbers she needed to press on the panel. Can you see them? There's a 7 here, a 3 is here, and here's number 1.
Okay.
But in what order should she press them? Can you help her? Remember the weird thing the security guard said? He actually gave Anna a hint. The elevator will help you ascend in an orderly way. Ascend, order. So, she needs to enter the numbers in ascending order from the lowest to the highest. It means that the passcode is 137. Ah, here comes the elevator. Anna pressed the button for the 7th floor, but the elevator stopped on the 2nd floor. 3 people were going to get in. Anna was excited to see some Data Corp employees, but one of them didn't actually work there. Can you tell who? Remember what the security guard said about all guests having to wear name tags? This lady has one too, so she is a guest and isn't working there. Anna got off at the 7th floor and was greeted by Chloe. The woman directed her toward the manager's office. Anna walked in. "Hello, Anna, I'm Edith," the manager said. "I'm the one who's going to interview you since you are applying for the manager's assistant position. I saw your CV and I was impressed. You've been solving all the riddles correctly, too. I have one last riddle for you, and if you crack it, we'll hire you.
Oh my God.
I'm a bean, but I'm not magic. I can be roasted, but I'm not a turkey. I can be ground, but I'm not pepper. I can be pressed, but I'm not a button. What am I? Quick, help Anna get this job." The answer is coffee. And you're going to be bringing me a lot of it. Welcome to Data Corp, Anna, Edith said. Wow, that's one weird job interview.
Anna went on vacation to Hawaii and stayed at a luxury hotel. The hotel manager told her that they had only 3 empty rooms left. Anna could choose the room she liked best. Can you help her make a wise choice? There's no mosquito net on the window in the second room, and something's wrong with the door handle in the third room. So, Anna should choose the first room. Anna went to the hotel swimming pool. She spotted 3 odd details in the area right away. Can you see them too? There's no ladder in the pool. There are 2 suns in the sky, and this guy is sunbathing in a winter coat. After lunch, Anna decided to go on a boat trip. At the pier, she met 3 sailors. Bob offered her a 3-hour sailing and fishing trip for $10 only. Kyle offered Anna a personal diving class for $200, and Daniela offered to have a boat trip around the coastal cliffs for free. But only one of these offers is actually a good deal. Can you guess which one? Kyle's offer is overpriced. Look at the poster hanging at the pier. It advertises personal diving classes for $20. And Daniela's offer isn't safe. Her boat has a broken bottom. That's why Anna should accept Bob's offer. Anna woke up on a deserted island in the middle of a hot day. The sun was shining very bright, so she needed to find a water source as soon as possible. There's the sea nearby, but she can't drink salty water. She found an abandoned cabin that contained some really handy items. 2 empty paint cans, 1 large and 1 small, a roll of aluminum foil, 1 baseball, an old pair of sneakers, and some other useful things. Which one of these additional items can Anna use to combine with the previous items to obtain drinking water? A book, a handful of tiny pebbles, or a plastic bag? The book is useless in this context. The pebbles can be found all over the shore. As for the plastic bag, Anna can fill 1/2 of the larger paint can with seawater. Then, put the smaller can inside of it. Next, she should use the laces from the sneakers to pull the plastic bag tight over the large can. And finally, place the baseball on top of the plastic bag directly above the smaller can to make a small indentation. Then, just leave this construction in the sun. Drinking water will evaporate and condense on the plastic bag. The indentation will push the water into the smaller paint can. Anna decided to explore the island. Soon, she found a tunnel and got lost inside it. At the bottom of the tunnel, Anna saw 3 pits leading to freedom. But, unfortunately, every pit is hiding some danger. A huge squid is hiding in the first pit. There's a hungry hyena in the second pit. And there's a poisonous porcupine hiding on the third path. Can you help Anna choose the safest way to escape? Anna should choose the pit with the squid. They can't live in conditions that differ from the marine habitat. Therefore, she should wait for a while. The squid will get weaker and she'll be able to escape safely. Anna got hungry and went to the jungle to find some food. But she's not alone here. Can you find any hidden animals in this picture? There are 6 animals in the jungle. Here they are: a butterfly, an alligator, a rabbit, a camel, a snake, and a deer. Finally, Anna found 3 bushes with berries. They all look delicious, but only one of them is safe to eat. Can you help Anna make the right choice? She should take a look at the monkeys. They stay away from the first bush because it's a mutant plant. See? It has teeth and emanates toxic gases. Meanwhile, the monkeys enjoy berries from the second and third bushes. But a cobra is hiding under the third bush. So the second bush is the safest choice. Anna got sunburned during her walk. Which item from the cabin can she use to cool down? Aluminum foil? Fresh water from the paint can? Or the sponge with some seawater? The sponge with salty water will only make it worse for Anna's irritated skin. And the drinking water is too precious to waste on bathing. Meanwhile, metallic foil is a great tool to cool down a shelter. Anna can cover the roof and the cabin walls and deflect some of the sun's heat. The next day, Anna continued her travel around the island and came across an abandoned village. She found a car with the keys still in it. The car was parked outside the local library, but before Anna could do something about it, a nearby volcano erupted. She didn't see any signs of glowing red lava, but a huge cloud of black smoke was moving towards her. It'll reach the place where Anna's standing in a minute. What should she do? 1. Head down to the library's basement, which is filled with vampire bats. 2. Take the stairs to the library's roof and hide there. Or take the car and try to ride away. Volcanic dust is very hot and moves at high speed. Anna cannot either outrun the dust or hide from the clouds on the roof. So the safest option is to lock herself in the basement with creepy bat neighbors. In the basement, Anna noticed a big wall clock. It happened when the minute and hour hand was precisely between 1 and 2. She saw that both hands lay on top of each other. Can you guess what the time was? $12. Both minute and hour hands lay exactly between the number 1 and 2 in the middle of the number 12. Anna looked around and found a secret passage in the basement. She entered the passage and fell into a subterranean river, which carried her away to a large waterfall, and then to a much bigger river surrounded by rocky cave walls. She tried to swim away, but the force of the waterfall had created a reverse current, pulling her backwards with an intense force. Anna needs to act fast. What would you suggest? Swim onward through the crashing water? Swim to the side and try to climb the walls? Or dive as deep as possible and then swim out of the waterfall's pull? Swimming onward isn't an option. The current will pull her back anyway. The chances of directly overcoming the forces of the water are 0. But if Anna goes downward as deep as possible where the water current is not so strong, she still has a good chance to escape. As soon as Anna got outside, she met a wicked witch. She offered Anna a deal.
You need to run one of these 3 tunnels colored red, blue, and yellow. 2 of them lead to a black hole, while another leads to your hotel room. Listen to my clues very carefully. Choose the reed and you won't disappear. It's a lie to say that blue isn't dissimilar. The yellow doesn't have less in common with the red than the blue.
Can you help Anna make the right choice? The witch said that the red tunnel won't not make her disappear, which means that Anna will disappear. So we can exclude the red one, and the yellow doesn't have less in common with the red than the blue, which means that the yellow does have more in common with the red. So now we can exclude the yellow one as well. Anna should choose the blue tunnel.
Suddenly, somebody pushed Stacy into the water. Down in the Sea Kingdom, Stacy met Neptune. He was sitting on his throne, surrounded by 3 mermaids. Neptune asked Stacy to return the pearl necklace to his wife. He had recently lost it, and Luke found the necklace on the shore. Can you guess which mermaid is Neptune's wife? The third one. She's the only one who's wearing an engagement ring. Another working day at the chocolate factory. Jason decided to prank Freddy and covered a raw chicken egg with a layer of chocolate. Then he wrapped it and put it among real chocolate eggs on a tray. When Jason brought the chocolate eggs, Freddy spotted the fake one immediately. Can you figure out how? The real chocolate eggs are hollow inside, so they were rolling all over the tray when Jason was walking. But the raw egg is heavier, and it didn't move much. What about the dressing room? Any odd details? These hairy clawed paws can't belong to a human. Next, Bella decided to visit a hairdresser. The manager asked her to wait for 20 minutes. Bella took a seat in the lobby and accidentally fell asleep. When she woke up, she saw that someone had cut her long, beautiful hair. She got furious and questioned 3 suspects. Maya said that she had been busy with another customer. She didn't see what was going on in the lobby. Rick said that he had been eating his lunch outdoors. And Sally said, "Who do you think I am? I don't steal hair. That's ridiculous." Who is lying? Both Maya and Sally had some cut hair on their clothes, but that doesn't prove their guilt. But Rick's lunchbox is full of food, which means he was busy with something else during his lunch break. Very suspicious. Bella's evening dress was too long and classy. She couldn't go to the concert hall by subway. So the hostel manager, Fred, offered Bella to give her a ride if she cracked his tricky riddle. I have a neck and no head. 2 arms but no hands. I'm with you at school, I'm with you at work. What am I? The correct answer is a shirt. During a break, Bella went outside to get some fresh air. She enjoyed the evening along with the other guests. Suddenly, a street dealer offered Bella a diamond necklace for $20.
What?
She agreed right away and put the necklace on.
Okay.
Soon, 3 guests came over to Bella to claim the necklace. Pam said, "How dare you? This necklace has been in my family for ages. I lost it in the ladies' room." Diana said, "This piece looks very similar to my necklace. Someone stole it as I was moving through the crowd today. In any case, my jewelry collection is insured." And Sheila said, "I noticed that the necklace was gone after visiting the buffet on the 6th floor. Can you help Bella return the necklace to its real owner?" The necklace belongs to Diana. The concert hall doesn't have 6 floors. Pam and the street dealer have similar tattoos on their arms, so they must be scammers working together. After the performance, Letitia invited Bella to the after-party, where Bella met Tyler. He claimed he was a famous violinist and showed Bella some pictures proving his luxurious lifestyle. But Bella realized that he was just a wannabe very soon. How did she understand it? Take a look at the trees in this picture. It's obvious that the wind is blowing to the right. Meanwhile, Tyler's hair seems to be swept to the left. The picture has been photoshopped. The next morning, Bella went to buy some groceries. She didn't have much cash, so she bought only 2 items, cheese and bread, and paid $1.10 in total. The cheese cost $1 more than the bread. How much did the bread cost? The most obvious answer would be that the bread cost 10 cents. But if the bread cost 10 cents and the price of the cheese was $1 higher than that of the bread, the cheese would cost $1.10, and the total, in this case, would be $1.20. The correct answer is that the bread costs 5 cents and the cheese costs $1.05. This indeed makes a total of $1.10. Does that make sense? Sense? Freddy decided to pay Jason back. He dressed up as a ghost to scare him. But suddenly, several real ghosts appeared in the room. Can you figure out which of these ghosts is Freddy? This guy over there. He's the only ghost who is not transparent at all." One evening, the factory was celebrating its anniversary. The management organized a party. All employees participated in a karaoke competition. Most of them all sang incredibly well and received gifts and flowers. But only two of the best singers, Nancy and Betsy, made it to the final. They prepared to face each other in one more round. But suddenly, Betsy fell to the floor, unconscious. Doctors claimed that she had been poisoned. But all the participants of the competition had eaten exactly the same food. Besides, the police checked the dishes and they were okay. Can you guess what happened? Someone poisoned Betsy's flowers. Next day, Freddie came to work as usual. He looked around and exclaimed, "Wait a minute! Who's brought a cat to the chocolate factory? No pets are allowed here. Can you see any animals?" Here it is. The cat got scared and ran away to another room. Freddie followed it. Can you spot the cat now? It's hiding over there. And again, Freddie failed to catch the cat. It ran out of the building and hid in the garden. Can you help the guy find the cat? The poor animal is over there. Freddie caught the cat and found a small note attached to its collar. It had contact information. Freddie called the cat owner, but no one answered the phone. So, after work, Freddie took the cat and went to the address mentioned in the note. It was a creepy castle. The door was locked and required a password. Can you help Freddie crack the code using this hint? The password is rainbow. A gloomy old man greeted Freddie inside the castle. Freddie expected that he would thank him for bringing the cat back. But the old man began to laugh evilly and locked all the ways out. Then he said, "If you manage to complete 3 tasks I give you, you will get $1 million. But if you fail, you'll stay in my castle forever. Here's the first task. Help me find my glasses among all these vegetables." Can you help Freddie? Here they are. The next task from the old man was to cook a potion and do it in the correct order. He gave Freddie this recipe. Can you help the guy? First of all, you gotta put curry. Then go for blueberries to make the potion look greenish. And finally, add tomatoes to make the potion look brown. As for these vegetables, Freddie doesn't need them. And the third task is to find a book in this messy room. Can you see it? It's half hidden inside the sofa. Sam was walking in the mountains. He met a beautiful girl and spent the whole day with her. In the evening, he realized he didn't even know her name. He asked if he could take her out the next day. The girl agreed, but only if he guessed her name. Sam was upset, but luckily, the girl liked him too. She wrote something on a piece of paper. It was a hint. Can you figure out her name? Ignore the numbers and look at the letters. Together, they make up the name Regina. Sam rented a cabin on a beautiful deserted beach. He called Regina and invited her over, but she complained that she'd broken her leg. Sam offered his help and invited Regina to stay in his house until she recovered. He brought her to the cabin in his arms like a real gentleman.
Yeah.
Regina was hungry and asked Sam to go buy some food. When Sam returned, he saw that someone had robbed his house. Regina said she had been sleeping and hadn't seen the robbers. Sam called the police and said, "I guess my new girlfriend is a thief." Why did he think so? Take a look at the cast. At first, it was on the right leg, but now it's on the left one. The police arrested Regina. They also detained 3 suspicious men. Jake said that he had been walking with his dog nearby. Bill said that he had been taking pictures for his blog. And Fred said he always surfed on that beach. Can you guess which of them is Regina's accomplice in the robbery? It's Bill. Take a look at his arm. He has a tattoo with Regina's name.
Oh no! Someone broke into Monsieur Dupont's house, broke into his home office and stole some important things from his safe. Here are 2 photos of the safe before and after the theft. Will you be able to find 5 things that the criminal stole? They stole a wad of cash, a ticket to Lyon, and an expensive watch, a necklace, and a gold statuette. Unfortunately for the thief, Gabriel Dupont is actually a retired detective. What a great way to remember the old days! Gabriel decides to examine the house and look for possible traces of the criminal. Do you see anything suspicious in this picture? There are boot marks on the floor. The size is quite large. These are most likely the footprints of a man's shoes. Now let's go to the hallway where the footprints lead. Do you see anything suspicious here? There are shards of glass on the floor. It's strange because none of the windows seem to be broken. Could the thief have shattered something that belonged to him? The criminal entered the house through the window. Gabriel decides to explore the garden. Are there any traces there? It seems the criminal dropped his hat in a hurry. Now it's time to listen to witnesses. The day before, there were 3 people in the house. Gabriel's wife, Chloe, their maid, Mary, and the gardener, Adam. Each of them claims to have seen the criminal, but their stories differ dramatically. Chloe says, "I was walking along the corridor and noticed a shadow in the garden. It was a man with long brown hair. He ran away as soon as he saw me, so I thought he was just passing by." Mary says, "I was going to the 2nd floor and noticed the shadow. It was a tall man wearing glasses, and I think he was bald. He noticed me and slipped through the window. It looked as if he dropped something when he was running away. I immediately called you, Monsieur Dupont." And Adam says, "I was planting flowers in the garden. At one point, I looked up and saw a shadow in the hallway. It was a woman. She was tall, with curly hair. I started running towards the house, but when I arrived, she was already gone." Who is right? Mary. It looks like Adam just saw Chloe, and Chloe spotted Adam, but they didn't recognize each other. As for Mary, she thought that the man had been bald because he'd had a hat on. She also said that she'd been wearing glasses. That's where the shards came from. Gabriel asks Mary for more details. She draws a portrait of the thief. A middle-aged man wearing a hat and glasses. The criminal stole tickets to Lyon, so Gabriel decides to go there. He takes a bus to the airport. On his way, he makes a decision to brush up on his detective skills. Which of the passengers doesn't have a ticket? The baby in that woman's arms. Gabriel boards the plane and decides to practice again. Which of the passengers is married? The girl with a ring on her finger. Gabriel arrives in Lyon. He comes to the hotel to ask about the criminal and is now waiting for his turn to speak to the receptionist. While he's waiting, can you guess which of these people is not a tourist? This man. He's the only one who doesn't have a suitcase. Neither does he have any souvenirs with him. Finally, it's Gabriel's turn. He comes up to the receptionist. "Hello," he says. "I'm a detective investigating crime. Could you please provide me with the footage from your security camera for the past few days?" "Of course, detective. But could you please help me to solve another crime first? I think my dog has stolen some of my papers." "Can you help the receptionist find the dog?" Here it is. The dog is hiding under the stairs in the hall. Gabriel has received the footage from the cameras for the last 4 days. Can you find the suspects in these photos? Here he is. On the first day, he arrived wearing glasses, but without a hat. But look, a couple of days later, he got a new hat and an expensive suit. "That's the man I need," Gabriel says, showing the man in the photos. "Oh, I know him," the receptionist replies. "He's usually absent at night and returns only in the morning, at around 10 o'clock. Gabriel decides to check in at that hotel and wait for the suspect to return. After taking his things to his room, he sits down to solve a few logic puzzles before going to bed. The first one is easy. Here it is. 2 fathers and 2 sons found 3 oranges and shared them. Everyone got a whole orange. How is it possible? There were 3 people, a grandpa, a dad, and a son. The second puzzle is harder, but Gabriel still solves it easily. Can you? A woman needs to bake 6 pies. How can she do that in 15 minutes if maximum 4 pies can be placed in a pan, and 1 pie needs to be baked for 5 minutes on each side? Step 1. We put 4 pies in a pan and bake them for 5 minutes. Step 2. We turn over 2 pies, remove the other 2, put 2 new pies and bake them for another 5 minutes. Step 3. We remove the 2 finished pies, turn the other 2 over, put the 2 half-cooked pies from the first batch, and bake them for 5 minutes. The task is done. The last riddle has a catch. It goes like this. A deaf and mute man entered a store to buy a pencil sharpener. He placed his index finger in his left ear and made a rotational movement near his right ear with the other hand. The seller immediately understood what the man wanted. Sometime later, a blind man entered the same store. How did he explain to the seller that he wanted to buy scissors? He just said it aloud. He was blind, not mute. In the morning, the detective wakes up and goes downstairs to wait for the suspect, and he indeed comes in at 10:15 a.m. It's a middle-aged man wearing glasses. He looks at his watch and says, "Oh no, I have to hurry. I'm already 15 minutes late." Gabriel immediately jumps up. "It's you! You're the thief who robbed me!" How did Gabriel understand that? The watch the suspect was looking at was the one that once belonged to Gabriel. "No, wait, the man says, backing away, and then, suddenly, he dashes away. Oh no! Gabriel starts running after him, but the man has already managed to hide somewhere. He must have chosen one of these 3 ways to escape. There is a police car blocking this road. The second road leads to an alley, so dark that you can see nothing. The third road is blocked by a big crowd of people. Think! Which way did the culprit choose? He probably picked the third road. Of course, he wouldn't run towards the police. It'd also be very dangerous for him to run in the dark. What if he tripped over, fell down, and got caught? So, he chose the crowd to blend in with. Gabriel notices the criminal in the crowd. He runs after him, but the man disappears around the corner. Gabriel follows him. On the left, he sees the central square of the city. There's a cafe in the center. On the right, he spots a road leading to the park. Which way did the criminal most likely choose? The one leading to the central square, of course. There are not so many people in the park. The culprit would look suspicious running along a deserted path. And if he took a seat in the cafe, the detective would immediately spot him. Finally, Gabriel reaches the square. While he was running, he managed to request police assistance. Now he needs to find everyone who looks like the culprit before the man escapes. Can you find 5 possible suspects? Here they are. These are all men in hats and glasses. The police grab the suspects and take them to the police station for questioning. They all look very similar. Unfortunately, the criminal has already managed to hide the watch. So, Gabriel has to find another way to identify him. Who is the thief? This man. He has the same wart on his nose as the thief did. Gabriel recognizes the criminal. His real name is Charles Winston. "I didn't do anything," he claims. "I started running away because I was scared, and you have no proof that I'm a criminal." Really? Gabriel suggests that the police should examine the criminal's room in the lobby. They find a safe there. The password is a 4-letter word. There's also a hint next to the safe. 7, 15, 12, 4. Can you figure out the code? The password is gold. The numbers correspond to the ordinal numbers of these letters in the alphabet. In the safe, there's Gabriel's gold statuette. Unfortunately, this is all they find. The criminal managed to sell the rest. But what matters the most for Gabriel is that justice has prevailed. Robert went on a business trip but returned home a day earlier. He found his wife in the bedroom, reading. Do you think she's lying to him? Yes, Robert's wife is overdressed for a reading night. Also, look, there's someone's foot under the bed. Now your task will be to decide which person of the two is in the wrong. Ready? Here's the first one. Quinn and Eliza can't swim. This summer, they both decided to learn how to do it finally. Quinn went to the river near her house. Eliza went to the lake with her friends. They both jumped into the water alone. Who's in greater danger? Quinn. If she starts drowning, no one will be able to help her. Also, the water in the river isn't steady, so it's dangerous to learn there. Chloe and Everly went to go to a party their classmates are throwing, but it's a school night, so their parents banned them from going. Chloe decided to go out of her bedroom window, and Everly wanted to sneak out from the back door. Who won't make it to the party tonight? Everly, most probably. Chloe is acting quite risky, but she might manage the trip. But Everly's mom is right there around the corner, reading. She'll definitely see her daughter trying to sneak out. Hazley and Annabelle plan to go to the movies with their friends tonight. Meanwhile, they're enjoying a hot summer day. Who is not going to make it to the movies? Hazley. She's about to cook the meat that has been standing in the sun for a while. By the evening, she'll probably get food poisoning. Liberty and Cleo went on vacation to Greece. Now they're about to jump off a cliff. Who's in danger? Liberty, there are rocks under the cliff she's about to jump from. Nova made her daughter stay at home and study instead of going to a friend's birthday party. Allison's daughter had to spend the entire day in her bedroom instead of going to the movies. Teenagers come down to dinner at 7 o'clock. Which parent didn't notice they were being lied to? Nova, it's raining and her daughter has wet hair. It means she was outside and not sitting in her bedroom. Beth and Kylie are having fun outside during their winter break. Beth is learning how to skate on the lake, and Kylie is skiing in the forest. Who is not smart? Beth, the ice on the lake is cracking and there's no one around to help her. William and Daniel are driving to work and they're both running very late. Who's doing something really wrong? Daniel, he's driving way over the speed limit in the neighborhood. All the money from the city bank was taken in the middle of the day without anybody noticing. The room where it was stored was found completely empty, not counting a signature note saying 7718. The police arrested 3 most known criminals in the city, Bill, Dub, and Alex. The problem was that they didn't know which one was the robber because they didn't find any fingerprints. What's your call, detective? If you turn the paper around, the numbers will turn into a name. Bill. He must be the robber this time. Right before sunset, a peasant boy was caught by the king's palace. The king was very mad and didn't want to let him go just like that. He loved all kinds of riddles, so he gave the boy a chance to escape. He said that the boy could walk out of any of the 3 doors, and if he stayed safe, he'd be free. Behind the first door, there was a huge pot with water that was boiled just in the morning. Behind the second door, there were 3 hungry lions. Behind the third door, there was a raging fire. The boy made his choice and managed to leave. Which door did he walk out of? He walked out of the first door. If the water was boiled in the morning, by sunset, it would already be barely warm. Mrs. Quinn, a mother of 4, went to work. She left a $50 bill on the kitchen table for her oldest daughter, Katie, to go shopping. Later that day, Katie told her that she couldn't find it. Mrs. Quinn told her to look for it, and Katie asked each one of her siblings. Serena texted, "The money was there, but I didn't touch it." Hannah texted, "I put it under some plates so that it doesn't fly away." Della texted, "There was a pile of yesterday's junk mail. I threw it away. Maybe the money was there." Who took the money? It must have been Della. There was no mail when Mrs. Quinn left the bill on the table, so Della is making things up. Aurora and Autumn were spending their summer in the countryside. They loved to go on long walks and explore the surroundings. One day, they found an abandoned hotel and just walked in. Everything there was crushed, and the glass was shattered. They took some photos and were looking through them at home. One of the photos scared them. Which one and why? Probably this one. Look, there's a mirror, and they're not reflected in it. Amelia and Dakota are sisters. Their grandmother gave Amelia a bracelet, but they both loved it. So, Dakota often steals the bracelet from her. Once, Amelia came home and noticed that the bracelet was gone. She knocked on her sister's door. Dakota opened the door but noticed that it was her sister and shut it. A bit later, Amelia broke into the room and started searching for the bracelet, but she didn't find it anywhere. On her way out, she remembered something and managed to find her bracelet. Where was it? Amelia remembered that when Dakota opened the door, she was wearing a t-shirt. The next time, she was already wearing a long-sleeve shirt.
She put on the bracelet and was hiding it under the sleeve. That's why Amelia didn't find it in the room. Spencer woke up in a dungeon. She didn't know what had happened, but there was a door. Spencer tried to open it, but it was shut. There were 3 buttons. On one button, there was a circle. On the second one, there was a triangle. On the third one, there was a rectangle. One button will set her free, and the other 2 will lock the door forever. There was a note saying 1, 5, 7, 11. Which button should she press to get out? You might have noticed that there's a clock right above the door, and it's there for a reason. If you draw lines connecting 1, 5, 7, and 11, you will get the shape of a rectangle. So Spencer should press the button with a rectangle on it. Lucas, the heir of a rich gentleman, visited his cousin, Kai, for a cup of tea. They were talking about water polo when suddenly Lucas couldn't breathe anymore. Kai called the doctor, who said that Lucas had been poisoned. Both men were drinking the exact same tea. How did Kai manage to poison his cousin? The poison must have been on Lucas's cup. When he touched it with his lips, he probably licked it off. There's a town where it's only allowed to have fun and eat candy. No one ever reads or studies. Mrs. Relham came home after a long and fun day at the club. Her 3 daughters spent a fun day at home. She asked them what they'd been doing. Hannah said that she was watching TV all day long. Elle said that she spent the day in a water park. Ava said that she and her friends had a candy-eating marathon. Still, Mrs. Relham could tell that one of her daughters lied and actually spent all day reading. Who was it? It was Hannah. Take a closer look at the books on her table. Most of them have perfect spines, but this one has a bent spine, so Hannah was reading it. The woman called the police and reported that she'd been robbed. Here's a recording of what she said. I went to the ladies' room to fix my makeup because I was on a date. Suddenly, someone approached me from behind and hit me on the head with something heavy. I blacked out, and it took me several minutes to come. I'm still feeling dizzy. I don't know what the person looked like. I didn't see anything. I was reapplying my lipstick. The police refused to fill in the report and sent her home. Why? If the woman was applying her lipstick, she must have been looking in that huge mirror every bathroom has. No one could have approached her from behind without her noticing it. She probably just lied and made up the whole story. An iced tea cafe owner reported that someone had stolen all the money when he had left for 2 minutes. The police interrogated 3 customers. Tatum, a teenager, said that she'd been listening to music and minding her own business. Charles, a middle-aged man, said that he'd just arrived a couple of minutes ago and hadn't seen anything. Skylar, a doctor, said that she had been focusing on her book and her drink and had seen nothing. Who's guilty? Charles said that he'd just arrived, but look, the ice in his drink has melted. He definitely has been there for a while, not just a couple of minutes.
Someone poisoned the principal's tea. There are 3 suspects: a siren, a werewolf, and a witch. The witch claims it wasn't her. The werewolf is sure it was the siren. And the siren says the witch is lying. Only one of them is telling the truth. So, help Wednesday Addams solve this mystery. The werewolf is the only one telling the truth here. Otherwise, we've got contradictions on our hands. It means the siren is guilty. In the hallway, there were only 3 black candles, 1 fully burned, 1 half burned, 1 untouched. Thing tapped the half burned one first. Xavier walked by after the lit candle was placed. And Enid said she'd left before the candles had been lit. If all 3 of them are telling the truth, who was in the hallway last? It was Xavier, as simple as that. Wednesday is sketching at the cemetery. She sees 13 gravestones. Every second gravestone leans left, every third leans right, and every fourth is cracked. Which is the first gravestone that is left, right, and cracked at the same time? It's the 12th gravestone. During a seance, 3 candles flickered. Wednesday noticed that the first one flickered once, the second candle flickered twice, and the third flickered, you guessed it, 3 times. Then the pattern repeated. At the 7th flicker, which candle was it? It was the first candle because the sequence cycles every 6 flickers. So at the 7th flicker, we'd be back to candle 1. Look at these pumpkins, all ready to serve as Halloween decorations. Sadly, one of them is an imposter. It's not a real pumpkin, but a plastic one. Your task is to figure out which one it is. It's the pumpkin on the left. Have you spotted that price tag hanging from its stem? No one attaches price tags to real pumpkins this way. Hey, we've got more pumpkins. This time, they are all real, but 2 of them are poisoned by a vicious witch. Look at them attentively and pick the safe pumpkin for your home. The pumpkin on the left looks weird. See that bluish spot? A puddle of green slime is under the pumpkin in the middle. So, the safest choice is the pumpkin on the right. One day, a pale woman with a bite on her neck approached Detective Dartson. When she'd been returning home the evening before, someone had attacked her and turned her into a vampire. The detective found 3 suspects. Look at them and find the one who turned the woman into a vampire. This man is quite old and has no teeth, so he can't be a vampire. This woman has tan marks, but vampires can't sunbathe. So it must have been this man in a hat and gloves. In a haunted mansion, 3 doors lead to 3 rooms, one full of cobwebs, one full of spiders, and one empty. The butler says that the cobwebs are not behind door 1. The maid says that the spiders are not behind door 3. And the gardener claims that door 2 leads to the room with the spiders. Only one statement is true. Which door leads to the empty room? The butler is the only one who says the truth. The first door leads to the room which is empty. Now, look at this granny. Her house is on fire. But why won't this firefighter help her? Can you figure it out? See those pumpkins and Halloween decorations? This guy isn't a real firefighter. He's just wearing a Halloween costume. The woman needs to call real firefighters and fast. Mike's wife was decorating their house for Halloween. She sent her husband a message, asking him to buy something with a leg, an arm, and a head, but without flesh or eyeballs. At first, the man was confused, but soon he realized what his wife wanted. Have you figured it out too? Mike's wife needed a skeleton. The next day, Mike got a new message from his wife. This time, he needed to get something wrapped, but not a gift. It had to be something kept neatly in a chamber, which archaeologists consider a great treasure. What did Mike have to bring home? His wife wanted a mummy to decorate the house. When Melissa was walking home after work, it was already dark. She noticed a group of people moving in a strange, jerky way. Melissa realized they were zombies. A moment later, she was surrounded. And still, the next day, Melissa was in the kitchen making herself a vegetable salad. How is it possible? Look at the calendar. It's November 1st. It was Halloween the day before. And zombies were just some dressed-up guys. Look at this family very closely. Detective Marlin was invited to their house to figure out which member was possessed by a ghost. Soon, he found the answer. How about you? This woman looks scared, but she's not possessed. She just choked on some food and is holding her throat. The man's wearing dark glasses indoors, but he's blind. Do you see that white cane the blind use next to him? The granny is the possessed one. There's a trace of ectoplasm that goes through the whole room towards her. Martin, Lucas, and Lauren went to the movies. The movie theater was empty. The friends were only visitors. In the middle of the movie, Lucas suddenly screamed. Can you figure out what scared him? There are more shadows on the screen than people in the theater. A store owner called Detective Max, claiming there was a vampire in his store. When the detective arrived, he didn't find the store owner, but there were 3 other people inside. Which one is a vampire? The one on the left has red eyes, but it looks like he didn't sleep well at night. The one in the middle seems to feel cold. All parts of his body are covered with clothes. Now, the person on the right is drinking something red from a glass using a straw. Is that what I think it is? 2 husbands suspected that their wives were werewolves. They invited Detective Max to find out the truth. The detective examined the women's bedrooms and realized that only one of them was a monster. Which one? This bedroom has a scary atmosphere, all dark, with posters of rock bands on the walls. The second one is pink and very feminine. But have you noticed scratch marks on the floor in the bed? The woman who lives there is a werewolf. Hey, look at these people dancing at a costume party carefully. You need to figure out who is a werewolf. It's that guy in the corner. He's wearing a human mask, but his thick hair is sticking out from underneath his mask. On a full moon, several people disappeared in the city. The culprit must have been a werewolf. The police had 3 suspects: Jack, Levi, and Luke. Jack said he had been walking with his girlfriend near the river. Levi had been choosing a silver ring in the mall. And Luke, who worked as a museum guard, had a night shift at work. Which guy is guilty? Jack didn't transform in the light of the full moon. Levi wasn't afraid to try on silver rings. It means that the werewolf is most likely Luke. These girls look totally normal, just friends hanging out in a park. But one of them is actually a witch. Which one is it? It's the girl on the right. Look, she's levitating. A man called Detective Max and claimed that his neighbor was a witch who was trying to curse him. The detective visited the woman in question. To prove her innocence and refute the accusations, she invited the man into her house. In no time, Detective Max knew who was telling the truth. Have you figured it out too? The neighbor is right. The woman is indeed a witch. She's got a dark magic book lying on her table.